Seven attendees have joined in. Slowly, they're joining in the call.
Yeah, so we can wait for 1 minute more.
Sure.
Okay, Akshata. So I think 11 participant is enough. We'll see if any other people has joined. So good morning, all of you. My name is Mohammad Azhar. Basically, I'm working as a lead incubating incubator. So incubating incubator is an initiative of Wilgrow from last 5 years that we are doing. And I can discuss more about what exactly we have done in the last 5 years to incubate different type of DST supported incubators. So today, the basic objective of this webinar to give the brief introduction about the Wilgrow plus our knowledge tools and templates. So we have developed incubation playbook that basically adopted by different incubators all over the Asia, as well as in some part of the US as well. So around 20 plus incubators has already adopted this playbook. Next, we can move some vitals because vitals is the online tools, management tools of the portfolio and your projects. So that will cover by my colleague Hira. And last 15 minutes will be on the question and answer. So I request you all participants, if you have any question, you please type the questions on your chat box, on your question box. So I start with the introduction. Wilgrow India basically started in 2001, and of 2001 to 2020, around 350 companies uh, we have incubated, and around 12 million funding that we have disbursed to our incubatees, and around 20 million lives we have impacted. So if you see the progress of our incubators is basically from the last decade itself. So around in last year, 2010 to 2020, we have achieved very good number of, supported very good numbers of incubatees and raised a lot of follow-on funding for them. So around $48 million that we have raised follow-on funding for them, just because of we have provided a very focused and very specific incubation services to our startups. We generally working in the three major focus area. Healthcare and agriculture is a mainstream, and recently 2 years back we have started the energy and clean tech space as well. So there are three sectors we are focusing, and that's why I request to all incubators where I am the part of the committees and all, you always focus on the sector specific. So value addition of your organization, validation in your incubation is very much important as compared to just do a general thing. So our playbook, our vitals will guide you more enough how to create a value proposition in your incubation services. So our incubation model basically working on six pillar. Six pillar, which is very common to all of you. Everyone has doing same things, but the way people are doing, the way other people are doing is a little bit different. The way Wilgrow are doing. So that's why we have one very unique and feature in our incubation model is diagnostic panel. Diagnostic panel, basically, we are working with the incubatee for at least 100 days with 100 days plan. And we develop this 100 days plan in that diagnostic plan. We can diagnose completely the entrepreneur from day one to day day one of the starting of the company and end of the standing in front of us. So that 3 months, that 100 days plan, we are working through that panel, and we can build the milestones on the basis of the discussion on the panel day. And that milestone over the link with the incubators and startups as well as their mentors as well. So in this way, we are moving, we are doing the incubation in every in 3 month period. So overall, we are giving incubation service to startup minimum 1 year, maximum to 2 years. So in this way, we are moving, and we are incubating company. We are not incubating company without funding. So our funding is mandatory with the incubation. So minimum, we are providing the 30 lakhs, maximum we are providing 60 lakh of grant funding to the our incubatees, grant funding or equity funding. Apart from that, we also have a go-to-market advisory where our mentors, our people are involved, and they are very much active in the. They are very much current CEOs of multinational companies, a current sales head or something like that position they are holding in the different companies. So they are the part of our go-to-market advisory, and very much we are entering into the market, and our startup is growing. On an average, if we see of current incubators, they are growing by 22% yearly in terms of revenue, in terms of sales. So it's a good sign for us, and therefore our companies are very much eligible for the VC fundings and all. Apart from that, we also provide technical assistance. Technical assistance means we are in the funding of the company, we are putting a 5%, 10% fund for the technical assistance. That technical assistance means if the company is looking for product development, if company is looking for assistance in terms of developing the website, developing the tools, developing the financial modeling, developing the cost structure and all this stuff, taking some certain things, or maybe they have looking for a legal guidance and all this stuff. So that part we cover under technical assistance. So that this makes a 360-degree approach to connect the startups with our incubator. Same way, then we are also providing mentoring. Mentoring is very much important for us. We are doing one-to-one mentoring. One-to-one mentoring in the sense every startups have a one mentor in the with working. So therefore, every startup is working with a mentor, and that mentor is changing accordingly their needs. For example, for the first 3 months, mentor required for product development, but next 3 months, mentor required for a next mentor required for a go to market. Same way, the next mentor required for a government linkages and all. So we are changing the mentor also as per the need of these startups, and that is the beauty of our incubation services, because mentoring is changing, and this way startups very much like, and we are getting a very positive feedback in terms of mentoring. And we are doing mentoring only a paid basis. So every mentors are getting a stipend from the Willgrow in terms of giving their time. So moving to the next slide. So in ecosystem that we had developed a very good ecosystem from last 20 years. We moved from India to Kenya, Philippines, and Africa and United States. Even we also have a sister organization called Mentor Venture Fund. They have a SEBI-registered AIF, and under this AIF, we are investing in the early stage startups with a minimum funding of 1 CR to 5 CR. And we move so sector-wise. We're also looking to start one more sector in our incubation, mostly in the livelihood or something space, and in livelihood in the relation to agribusiness, energy, and health. So we are moving to the sector as well. So around 40 to 50% companies that we are incubating under the agribusiness space, and 40% approximately in health, and 20% approximately in the energy and other sectors. Why I am here? Because the incubators are an initiative, and we are very much active in the developing the capacity of incubators in all over the world. And we have developed the incubator capacity of Aga Khan Development Network, Lotus Impact, Toru, with the support of different grantees. Apart from that, in India, we have developed the capacity of 4 major incubators: Startup Oasis, which is a part of CII Ahmedabad; CDB Innovation Center called in IIT Kanpur, called SIIC; and IIM Kolkata Innovation Park, and KIT Bhubaneswar. So that for incubator, we have built their capacity in 2016 to 2019. 3 years we have built their capacity, so they can also be part of the impact, innovation ecosystem and impact incubation ecosystem. And for your information, after our building the SOPs for these incubators of Asia and Indian incubators, they are very much active in the impact incubation, and very active in the incubation services in India as well as other parts. Uh, just one of the numbers I'm saying, these 4 incubators of India based, they have incubated 160 companies from 2016 to 2019 under the incubator initiative of Will Grow, which is supported by DFID, government of British government, plus technology development, which is government of India, part of DST. Then we also develop the capacity of other incubators in Southeast Asia. The name are mentioned here. So I'm trying to say we are developing the capacity on the basis of our learnings for 20 years that we have developed our process, our procedures, our templates, very tested templates that we have adopted in our incubation model, and that templates providing the clear picture and clear roadmap for the incubation. Is a clear roadmap for the startup, how to get up, how to get in the, how to crack the problems in the future. So that is very much adopted and very much tested templates and tools that adopted by these incubators, and now these incubators are very much active in their ecosystem. So I'm coming to the team. So we have a team member of around 30 in India, plus if you count all over the world, so around 50 plus people are working. And India CEO is Srinivas Ramanujam. Before he just taking over Paul Basil. Paul Basil now moved to Will Grow US, and he's looking to mentor impact fund. So now Srinivas Ramanujam is taking the lead in the CEO role, and he's helping us in developing more incubator, developing more incubator in the low income states and other part of India. This is our international team. So I'm coming to the point, incubation playbook demo. So which is as a point of today webinar. The two major point of today webinar, the incubation playbook demo, and second is the Vitals demo. So these two things are very important for today webinar. So before entering to the incubation playbook demo, I just want to say to all of you, there is a link available. I have mentioned in step 1. It's a link. You can go into the link and register yourself. So you will get a free access of our incubation playbook. Okay. And if you want a demo, for example, some you people are here to take a demo, but if some other incubator want to take a demo, then please write email to me immediately. I can provide demo to them as well, because our objective is not we are a non-profit company organization and TBI approved by DST. So we are not in the position to make money in this incubation playbook and Vitals. We are looking to build an ecosystem where we can, we believe that one Will Grow is not enough, to make an impact in the incubation ecosystem, startup ecosystem and all. So therefore we are having objective to build more incubators, build the capacity of other incubators and all, so they can also adopt the very tested and tools and templates, so they can also incubate companies and make a pipeline for the VCs and other angel investors. So the ecosystem of in India will very much be competitive in other, as compared to the other developing countries, or as compared to the developed countries as well. So that is our objective, and that's why we are giving a free of cost of this playbook and demo to these incubators. Same, if you looking to build your capacity of your incubators, email to me. So we will help you to build your people capacity. The people are working in the portfolio management team, or your CEO, or maybe your governing board, or maybe your advisory board. We can build the capacity of these people as well, because the thinking is very much important in the incubation. Why I'm saying, because I have a part of several committees and advisor committees of several incubators. So what I am seeing, a lot of incubators stuck with their curriculum, with their people, because bureaucracy and because of certain things, things are not moving, and because of not having the correct knowledge in terms of early stage incubation. Okay, so that's some knowledge mismanagement, or maybe a bureaucracy, or maybe not having the capacity to do this, because we have taken that objective to do to some support early stage companies, raise follow on funding and all, but we have not a capacity to do this. So therefore it is very, if you're looking to develop your capacity, if you're looking to develop your people capacity and startup capacity as well, then you can write to me, so I can help you to do this. So now I'm coming to the demo link. So I'm sharing my screen again. Uh, okay, I hope you people have seen my screen. That's the 4 modules. Hira, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Yeah, so it is there.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So there is 4 modules basically we have uh, developed in last in the as per our experience, as per our people, lot of portfolio around from last 20 years. If I'm see around 50 portfolio managers have worked with the Willgrow, and we have taken their learning and adopted this learning into the modules, where we can the module talking about the 4 modules is talking about the first module, if you see. So which is very basic, it's a setting up an incubate. So if you open this link, Hira, please mute yourself. Okay, so if you yeah, if you open the link, you can see the module 1. So module 1 basically is talking mostly on the setting up the incubator. Setting up the Appen incubator, lot of universities now coming towards to setting up their incubator, but they have stuck how to start, how to do, how to develop these. No, who is the where we can develop, which state is feasible for them, which city is feasible for them, where is the policy of the, for example, the UP government policy is saying, if you open this this incubator in the any part of the UP except Bundelkhand and Purvanchal, then you will get a 50 lakh rupees as a reimbursement of your incubator. But if you open in the Bundelkhand and Purvanchal, then you will get a 1.25 CR. As a setting up the incubators, and you will also get a 30 lakh rupees per year for our operational cost. So that things you have to learn from diagnostic and through the learning of the different states, different cities as well. So therefore, it's very important before setting up an incubator to do the diagnostic and all. So these things, if you see the overall the module, I hope all the participants already have view access or download access of this playbook. So if you open the module 1, you can see the most of the things which very much require, very basic things required before putting the before entering in the incubation space. So for example, the identify of the stakeholder means you who to whom you are building the incubator, who is going to be your partner, who is going to be your stakeholder, who is going to be your donor, who is going to be your funder, who is going to be your part of your incubate, who is going to become your incubatee. It is a release stage, it is an idea stage, it is a go to market stage, or it is who. So that is a part that we have to think more, and that part we have discussed in this module. And also we are providing the templates. If you see the below, so there is incorporation documents, MOA, MOU with investor and all. That is available as a templates as well, and additional resources also, because we learn from our other resources as well. So that additional resources we have already put it in the this module. So you can also refer these additional resources as well. A lot of resources available here. So that basic things is discussed in the modules, and their templates available in the module itself. Plus, the additional resources also be available. Same way, if you go to the module 2, module 2 is mostly talking about opening. module 2 is talking about incubation cycle. So I think some internet problem with me, but I'm coming to the point. So module 2 basically is talking mostly on the incubation cycle. Incubation cycle in the sense from getting the pipeline to get exit from the startup. So that overall the process, what exactly you have to do means, for example, you have what you have to do in types or in the time of the pre-assessment of these startups, how to build a pipeline, how to do the pre-assessment, how to build a committees, and what committees basically will do with these startups, how you can select these startups, and what is the 2 3 templates that you can use while selecting the startups. Then move to the second part, how to disburse the fund, what type of things you have to do while disbursing the fund. Same way, how to do before coming to the part disbursement of the fund, and before that, how to do a due diligence of the startup, how to do a business diligence, how to do a financial diligence, how to select a mentor, how to do a diligence on mentor. Okay, so these things have very much discussed in the tool in this module 2, and also how to go to market, all this stuff available, and how to design a diagnostic panel, and also so these things which is very much required for any incubator to make the success of their incubation. So there are a lot of things. If you open this incubation cycle module, you can get a detail about each and every steps involved in the incubation cycle. But which is very important, templates and tools. So there's a lot of templates available here. The list of templates available, like compliance for due diligence. What is the compliance? Initial screening. So all these templates are available here. Site visit template, because before onboarding any startup, what we are doing, we are visiting the site of the startup. We are seeing what exactly they are doing. We are not believing on only the words of entrepreneur at first stage. The first stage of our diligence is visiting the field, talk to their mentor, talk to their people, talk to their family member as well, what exactly they are looking for and all. So that give a sense before onboarding the startup, because we have a very much focused, and we want that every startup of our incubation will get at least 3 to 4 as follow-on funding as we have invested in the incubation. That is our target, and we want that every startup will at least sustain for 1 or 2 years and cross the value of death from our incubation period. So that we are doing, and that's why we are putting a very strong diligence templates are available over there. So these things is available in your in this module as a template. You can use this. Then funding template also available, term sheet, making your application, all this stuff is available. Creating financing for students. So these things also available. How to boost your enterprises. So there are some recommendation available in terms of the reading material. How to mentor, how to design a questions for a mentor agreement. That templates are available here. So if you see any of the template, then you can find the exact that we are using in the Wilgrow. So, and it is very much tested, and it is very much applicable. And our incubators means those incubators will get supported under the incubator. We have built the capacity of this. These people are also using a same type of template. Also, what we are doing while doing the capacity building of this incubator, we are changing the template also as per the need of the incubator. So therefore, for example, some incubator has a different need, project-based need available. No, some incubator working with DST, some incubator working with AIC, some incubator working with different other bilateral organization like different Austrian aid and all other people. So in this way, we are also developing the template design and made a template as per their needs. So these things are available in the templates. You can refer, you can use, you can download also, because people already have a access. If not access, then please register, as I mentioned in that presentation. So these are things available here, and this way, that's all 4 modules basically are working. So module 3, module 4, so overall the 4 modules talking about the from setting up the incubator and incubation life cycle, operation of the incubator. Operation of the incubator means admin things, how to manage the finance, how to manage your team, and all the stuff. So these are the things are discussed in the module 3, and module 4 is mostly talking about the incubator governance. So incubator governance is very much important. See, every incubator has governed by certain committees, certain things, certain laws, certain legal aspects. So therefore, governance is very much important. If the governance body is not much capable to replicate a good incubation model, or maybe they cannot suggest, they cannot capture the right things of the ecosystem, then it will be very difficult for incubator to run in the market, and they will always have a problem to run this incubator. So the time is now running out. So I'm request Hira to take over from here. But before that, if you have any question in respect to the playbook, and if you want the individual demo of complete playbook things, then please write to me. I will happy to provide a one-to-one demo individually incubator and help them to build their capacity in the long run. So I request Hira to take over here.
Thanks, Azhar. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Just quickly to introduce myself, I head the technology platforms at Willgrow. So basically, I've been involved in the life of Vitals and the rollout of Vitals within Willgrow, also handling the technology part of the incubating incubators program. So as Azhar has given the intro, etc., today, as a part of this session, I will give you a quick overview on what Vitals is, and also kind of take you through the system at a very high level, so you know you can get to see what has been built. I'll share my screen and go through a couple of slides which will give you a fair understanding on what the system is about. So I hope you're able to see my screen. So Vitals basically stands for Willgrow Information Tracking and Learning System. It's a technology platform that we have built at Willgrow based on our 20 years of experience, based on the processes that we have set up for the incubation program that we follow at Willgrow. The idea behind Vitals is that previously at Willgrow also we were using a lot of offline mechanisms to track our portfolio, to track our programs, to see how our companies are doing, even for our pipeline management. So that is not a long-term solution, and as companies grow and as we mature and run into more programs, get on more companies on board, etc., we find that you really need a system that can streamline the whole process, that can be a single source of information for all your companies, all your pipeline, for everything. So this is a system that helps incubators and accelerators track your companies right from the point when they apply for your program, which is your incubation program or your acceleration program. So from the point of application till they exit from your portfolio, you can have all the information about a company in a single place. So it helps you in monitoring the companies, it helps you in tightening your incubation process. In the long run, as more data is collected year on year, you will realize that the amount of data that you have in your database helps you in making much more informed decisions on how to manage your companies, your portfolio, your programs, etc. So what Vitals does is that we have the incubation playbook that Azhar took you through, kind of shows the various phases or things that you would go through to set up an incubator. And out of that, one thing is to define your incubation cycle. How do you identify the companies that you want to take up? How do you identify your mentors? How do you track your companies? How do you do DPs, etc.? So that portion of the entire setting up an incubator program is covered by Vitals. So this is the technology background that would support the incubation cycle primarily. In Vitals, we have a large number of data, quantitative data, that we use for monitoring and tracking. In addition, there is a large amount of narrative that you can put in. So a lot of times information cannot be tracked by numbers. It has to be, it needs to be supported with a qualitative narrative. So this is something that can be done in Vitals. So you can do your planning for your companies, you can do your planning for your programs, for your sectors, etc., and actually track all the data points qualitatively and quantitatively, month on month, year on year, etc. So just to quickly break down Vitals and kind of put it in perspective to what you've seen on the playbook. What we do on Vitals is, as I said, from the applications right down till the exit. So the tracking of your pipeline, shortlisting of that pipeline, and how you select the companies to join the portfolio. All those work processes are built in the portfolio. When we say portfolio management, what do we do? You need to track your incubatee on quantitative data points. How are they doing revenue wise? How are they doing on profit? Are they meeting sales targets? How is the team doing? We're all we're social incubators, so we invest in social enterprises. So a big chunk of our work is to make sure that the companies are actually making an impact. So are they making the impact that we would like them to see? If not, how can we help them? So impact is a large data point that we track. Apart from that, since mentoring and technical assistance are also key services within the entire incubation cycle, we need to be able to track these effectively. Who are the mentors assigned? How much time are they spending on the companies? What are the interventions that they have given? So when you see the information that a mentor has spent on a company in relation to other things, like supposing you have a mentor who's helping with the sales and marketing, you look at the sales and marketing numbers side by side to see, has this mentor actually made an effect on the sales? So these are things that are qualitatively tracked in Vitals, so you can see them side by side. This mentor has spent 8 hours of his time on this company last month, but there is no improvement in the sales. So how do we plan the intervention for the company? So these are the insights that can be got out of systematic data tracking. In addition to all this, and it's not right here on the slide, but it's there on the next slide, is the tracking of your donor and funds. How do you it's here. So basically, how do you who are your donors? What are the grants that they've given? How much of that grant is going towards your companies? Other things that you would have towards donor tracking, like reporting requirements, tranche, how do you keep track of the tranches that you have received, etc. So donor management is another key feature that is available in Vitals, which is actually part of your feeds into the overall portfolio management, because a lot of the donor money goes towards funding and seed funding for your companies. So quickly, just to put it in a visual perspective on how the workflow is, typically the entrepreneur submits an application to the program that the incubator is running. So how it works right now is that we have an online application form that is built into our website. It is customizable depending on what kind of program you're running, what kind of mandate you're running, and what kind of questions you want to have on the application form. So this application form is hosted on the website. The entrepreneur comes in, fills it in, and submits it. So once the entrepreneur submits it, it comes into Vitals. And that's when the incubator team start working on these applications. So the rest of the workflow from submission, after submission, is fully taken care of in Vitals. So first, obviously, they look at the application form to see what is this entrepreneur applying for, what is his product, what is his service. Have a look at the application form. So that would be typically the first time you're actually interacting with this enterprise. The incubator team looks at the application form, and at that point, many times we know that at first glance the application form meets our basic mandate. It is worth pursuing. We need to look at it further. Or there may be sometimes a definite no when you look at the application form and you're like, okay, fine, this does not meet my criteria. It's not something that I'm going to look at all. And you can close it right there. If it's going forward, we have a 2-step shortlisting process in Vitals. The first step is what we call a preliminary assessment, which is basically how it's built right now is that we have a very structured rubric, which takes into account about 11 parameters. And that rubric is designed in such a way that even new team members, when they're looking at the application form, it's a great guidance on how do you shortlist how do you consider this application to be moved forward. So we look at things like team impact, is there a potential to scale, etc. So what's built into Vitals right now is something that we at Willgrow have found is a good scaling mechanism. You rate the application form on a scale of 0 to 3, and that scoring helps make a little more informed decision on whether we move it forward in the entire workflow or not. So once the preliminary assessment rubric is done, a decision is made whether we take it forward or not. So that's when it goes into the second shortlisting process, which is kind of a very detailed study of the company, which is something that you would have seen in the incubation playbook as well. The detailed diligence, which is basically we collect a lot of information about the company. We have a questionnaire which is about 50 questions long. That the entrepreneur has to fill in. It asks questions about their team, about their background. We do financial checks on the company. We do background checks on them. We do site visits, etc. So it's a very detailed study of the company, because obviously you're investing in a company, so you need to make sure that their idea is sound, that it's worth investing in, basically. So this is the second level of shortlisting. And once after the detailed diligence, internally we have discussions. We present the output of the detailed diligence, which is the report. We present it to our external committees, etc. And then a larger discussion is had on this. At that point, the decision to invest in the company is taken. So all this is the pipeline management, basically. So from application till the point where you decide whether you want to invest in the company or not is you're narrowing your funnel. So you get 100 applications and you bring it down to 1 or 2 or maybe even 10 that you want to invest in. So once you decide that the decision to invest is taken, the paperwork starts. And remember, all this is information that is being tracked in Vitals. So everything that is here in the gray box is already built into Vitals. So all documentation that is created, all notes that you're taking, any meetings that you're having with the company or with external agencies, etc., everything is tracked in Vitals. And so after the decision to invest is taken, the paperwork starts and you finally sign all the papers and the agreement is signed and the company joins your portfolio. So that's when active portfolio management starts. From the system, from the platform perspective, what we're looking at in portfolio management is tracking on a bunch of key performance areas like revenue, impact, sales, etc. We have we can track milestones, because as Azhar said, diagnostic panel is a key tool that we have, and the output of the diagnostic panel is the milestones that the company has to reach. Because if we set the milestone saying that okay, in the next 3 months they have to have a GTM plan set up, so that is the key milestone. So there is something that they need to work towards and that shows progress of the company. So how do we track this milestone? So we set it up in Vitals and then we track the milestone to make sure that it is actually something that they're working towards, and that would be a yardstick of the success of the company. So these are the data points that we track in terms of portfolio management. And because there is a lot of data input, obviously the outputs need to be something that is easily readable. So we have a bunch of dashboards, data exports, etc., that are already built in, which help you use all the data that has been inputted into the system. And finally, as I mentioned previously, we have the donor and fund management module, which will help track who are all your donors, where is the money coming from, that is if you have donors and grants, and how those donors are distributing the money across the companies, and other donor relationship related activities like the reporting, which is any donor would obviously ask for some periodic reports. So it has built-in triggers to make sure that reports are not missed out. You get a alert on your home screen saying that this donor report is due, and or these tranches came late, etc. So you can track your donors and your funds from the donor community. So quickly, this slide, which says the benefits of Vitals, is something that we have seen at Willgrow, and we've also done installations of Vitals for other incubators, and we are seeing these as actual tangible benefits, and it's not just a marketing slide or anything, but it has led to much tighter data driven incubation, because we have the data readily available. We have information. I mean, obviously the data is good as it is put in. So if once a team is trained and once everyone is on board and everyone realizes that this is the system that you have to use and the data is in there, it provides great insights on how do you manage your portfolio, how do you make sure that your companies succeed, how do you make sure that you as an organization are meeting your goals for the year. You of course, the evidence-based decisions, meaning that the data is there, and based on that data, based on that evidence, whatever you plan to do with your companies is based on hard facts and data. Since a lot of our work is based on impact, obviously tracking the impact is a key point, and now of late we've also done a slight enhancement wherein we can integrate with Iris, so we can map to Iris metrics. So if you use Iris as well, you can use it to kind of map your metrics that you're tracking with the ones in Iris, and this helps in, like, we use it internally for our impact reports, etc., so that when we generate our reports, the data is readily available and we can change it into a way that is globally understood. For the incubatee, they receive, obviously because we are able to provide such tight incubation to the incubatees, they are able to get better feedback from the incubator. They are able to move from one stage to the other, from if they are still at the idea and they want to move towards the next stage. We have a way, we are able to provide more support to make sure that this happens. And also another great benefit that is there in having this kind of a single system is that the knowledge is there. So even if there is attrition in your teams, etc., the data is there. People can come on board and off board from your team easily without you fearing to lose anything. So I think I've overshot my time a little bit, but anyway, I will just quickly move into the demo so that you can see how the vital screens are. So this is the login, and actually right now we are working on a major revamp of the whole system and redoing the UI completely. So we have done part of the work already. So some screens are much more contemporary, much more modern than the others. But right now, over the next few weeks, we will have a completely uniform system with a very nicer user experience and navigation. So this is the login. We have some basic callouts. Now this is what we're using at Willgrow right now. And if you a lot of these things are customizable, as in we have stages which are this kind of gives you a CTA or a summary of where you are for this particular sector. Sector names can be configured. These stages are fairly static, as in the sense that it's something that we have set up as a process even in the playbook and in the incubating incubators program. So it moves from application PARD to the internal investment to the external investment. So you can see a summary of your pipeline and how it has worked. What is the summary of your number of incubatees in this particular sector comes up here. We have a set of dashboards, etc., which I'll show you more detailed on the portfolio thing. So deals is the screen which kind of gives you the information about your entire pipeline. So as I said, when the entrepreneur applies online, all the applications come into the vitals, and this is the first place where you can see all the submissions from your online application form. We have ways of adding them internally to the system directly. We can build in other mechanisms to do like bulk uploads, etc., but those would be customizations depending on what is needed by each incubator. So you can see basic information about about the enterprise or entrepreneur, which sector they have come through. We have a couple of programs running. So one is the incubation program, and then during iPitch, to kind of segregate the pitch applications, we have another program name, etc., what stage it is in. So some basic information here. If you click on an enterprise, you can actually go and see the remaining options that are there. Number one is the application form. So I will just take you through one enterprise that has gone through the whole workflow, so you can see how each of the form, the preliminary assessment, the detailed diligence, etc., all work. Yeah, it's a bit slow. Please bear with me. So Blackboard, this is one of our education companies. It's a past company, which is why I'm using it for the demo purposes. So if I click on this company, you can see all the phases that the company has gone through. So first was the application form, then the preliminary assessment, then the detailed diligence, and finally it has been added to our portfolio. So this is a single place where you can see the how the company has progressed from application till the portfolio, and finally exit information also. So the application form is what we hosted on the website. It has a basic set of questions. It collects some information about the team. They can upload their deck, etc. And this is where you see the information on the application form. The second stage is the preliminary assessment, which is the rubric. Now this scoring rubric is something that we have developed over the years. It has a set of 11 areas that we look at, very high level areas, and for ease of rating the application on each of these areas, we have it broken down into sub criteria, sub areas. So for example, when you're looking at team, you look at the experience, you look at the education, you look at the commitment, etc., and kind of put in a score. So this is a great guideline for people who are doing this, who are new to doing this, and if you don't already have a process of doing the shortlisting. A lot of this is customizable also. So if you have another scoring rubric, or you don't look at certain parameters for a particular incubator, for example, if you're not looking at returns and exit criteria, those can be removed. If you have different words for follow-on funding, that can be changed, etc. So this is the scoring rubric. The managers come and put in their scores. They can put in what is their risk rationale. So there's a lot of note taking that can happen here. And finally, this if there are multiple people looking at the same application form, there's a way for everybody to kind of put in their scores, put in their comments, etc., and then kind of have a discussion around the company. So this is the preliminary assessment. And then once we give the go ahead on the preliminary assessment, the next stage was the detailed diligence, and that again is primarily a data collection exercise wherein we study the company in depth. So there's a lot of communication with the company, a lot of like financial audits, we look at background, etc. So there is a lot of information that needs to be stored at this point. So company and team information, who are the management, who is how is the cap table structured. Sorry, but there seems to be how is the cap table structured, who is the management team, who are the founders, their contact information, any other documents that are created during the process of detailed diligence can be uploaded here. So this is more like a knowledge warehouse that is set up at the time of diligence. So questionnaires, what is the remote thing, any decks that have been used, etc., can be uploaded here. If you have meetings, multiple meetings, and you have calls, etc., you can use this as a note-taking place. The detailed diligence also has a way of creating your report. So if you create a very detailed report out at the end of this, and it's something that you can use this as a note-taking as to create your basic template. There are ways of exporting these as Word or PPT so that you can use it in your presentations later on. And finally, once the company is accepted after the detailed diligence, we add them to the portfolio. So I'll just quickly take you through the portfolio section, which is which kind of tracks information at 3 levels. So we have obviously at the org level. How it's organized is we have, since within Willgrow, we have it broken down by sectors. Our second level of data is at the sector level, and finally at the incubator. But we've done installations where people would, where the incubator would be more interested in tracking it at the program level and then the incubator rather than at a sector, because they may have run accelerator programs. So they want to see the success of the accelerator program. So this is the portfolio, basically the dashboard and the summaries that have been built so far. So if you see here, we have the breakdown by sector. We have the financial year that we are looking at the data for. So if on the right, we have the set of incubators or the companies that are in this particular sector. I'm sorry, but my internet seems to be acting up right now. Yeah. So as we said earlier, Willgrow looks at primarily for three sectors. We have a couple of companies in the education sector that we are phasing out right now, but all the four sectors are displayed over here. So there's a way of drilling down to all if we can just wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so okay, I think I'm just wasting time looking for this, but then yeah, so basically the breakdown is at the sector, which are the companies. By default it kind of shows you the summaries at the sector level, and as I said, we have a set of data points that we track every company on. So they would be like, for example, on the financial side we track them on revenue, profit, on follow-on funding. On the product and sales we can track how if it's a product, then how is the product doing. If the company is in sales already, you can track sales by rupees or any other currency, and sales by number of units they are selling. You track the team composition of the companies, how is their recruitment doing, how is their attrition doing, etc. On the impact side, we have certain metrics that are common across all the companies and some which are company specific. So we track the number of impact numbers, the mentor hours, number of mentors, technical assistants, any other partnerships that they are doing, diagnostic panels and meetings, seed funding, how much of seed funding are we planning to give them, how much have we actually done. So on all these data points, how it works is that we set up a plan initially for the whole financial year and then track that on a month-on-month basis. So for example, if I go back to Blackboard Radio and we look at how their planning is done, you will see that for this company, we have set up a plan at the beginning of the financial year on each of these data points: the finances, the team and board meeting, the impact. We set up the milestones. We set up the sales numbers, the sales track, product and sales information. So everything is set up in terms of a qualitative update. What is the plan for in terms of revenue, as well as what are the targets for that. And this plan is we review it every month to see whether the company is it's progressing as per plan, what are the interventions that are needed, etc., etc. So every month we can go in and say what are the updates towards that particular data point. So for example, if you're looking at the revenue, what are the updates for this particular month? This was the plan for the quarter, this was the plan for the month. What are the achievements for this month? What are their actual revenue, financial numbers, etc., to calculate the net profit, working capital? How much of funds have they actually raised? What are the mentor? What has the mentor done in this month? How many hours have they spent? What are the interventions they've done? If you're planning diagnostic panels, what is the diagnostic panel that you're planning to do? When are you planning to do it? Who are the attendees? Once it's completed, who are the attendees? Link up the notes, etc. If you have status calls, there is a way for you to kind of keep track of what are the discussions that are being there. You need not upload every time. You can just use it as a note-taking segment wherein you just put in these were the points that are discussed. So when you have your next call, you can easily refer here and then from where you left it off last time. And the dashboards give you a summary of everything, a comparison between the plan and actual on the quantitative parts as well as the qualitative parts. So you can do a monthly view as well to kind of see, okay, month on month, how is the revenue actually going? The actuals are much higher than the plans. So what is the explanation from the team on that? How are they doing? Why is suddenly the revenue going up, etc.? So this gives you a holistic view of the progress of the company. So I think we're kind of running out of time here. And just to quickly wrap it up, the last module that would really make life easier for incubators is to keep track of your donors and funds. So we organized it in terms of who are the funders, how many grants have they given, what is the period of the grant. So this is a ready reckoner for all the funding related and donor management for the organization. So I think I will stop here, and if there are any questions, we can take it now. Yeah, so how about the security and confidentiality of data? In terms of the technical setup for Vitals, it's currently hosted on AWS. So when we do independent installations for each of the incubators, we will create separate AWS instances for each of the incubators. AWS, the security is already inbuilt. We also make sure that the backups, etc., are taken care of. The site is secure SSL enabled, so there is no hacking, etc. is not a risk that you will run into. The only way that people can actually get access to the data of your companies, of your organization, is if they have a login and a password to the system. So that would be something that the incubator can have control over, or if you don't have the capabilities in-house to do the administration of user management, etc., that is something that we can take on at Willgrow also. But from a data perspective, the data is secure because it's hosted on AWS, and a lot of it is encrypted, and the site is SSL enabled.
Hira, some of the questions basically available in the chat box also in respect to the Vitals.
Okay, let me have a look. So I'm just going to stop my thing because I'm not able to see the chat. Is it possible to receive a blank format of Vitals? Sunil, I'll have to kind of discuss that internally and see how we can set up if this is something that we would like to open out and give you a demo version of it. Let me get back to you on that. Is there an incubation agreement between Incubatee and Incubator? Yes, there is, and the template is available on the playbook. This is for Krishnan Ganeshan.
One question basically, Hira, so I will address from Sunil Kulkarni. How much fees are charged by mentors? Do they accept a stake in startups? So see, we are giving a very standard fees to our mentors, which is range in between 10,000 to 15,000 for a day. So minimum 3 days commitment we are looking from each mentors for each startups. So around 35 to 40 or maximum to 50,000 we are paying to our mentors monthly. And that payment we are giving on the milestone basis. If the startup milestones is achieving, then we are paying to the mentors payment as well. Second part, your question is, do they accept stake in the startups? No, we are not giving any chance to any mentors to take stake in the startups for their mentoring, because the mentoring fees we are already paying to them. If they are looking to invest in the startup, the same startup, then they are open to take their stake in the company. Okay, one question you have already answered. Okay, yeah. Is Vital MIS commercially available for other incubator? If yes, what would be the commercial? Hira, could you please address, or shall I address?
Let me just take that initially, and then after that you can add on, Azhar. So okay. Vitals is available for commercially for other incubators. There is a component which we see as the customization, because we realize that there may be certain things that we have built into Vitals that you might want to change, like terminology, or maybe even you may want to use some modules, not use some modules, etc. So there will be, if there is some customization that would be taken up on based on how much work is actually there. But for a blank installation of Vitals, yes, it's available commercially. In terms of the commercials, maybe Azhar, you can take that up.
Okay, so commercials depend on the number of users, number of startups, and number of login ID that you're looking for. So mostly, as per our experience that we have installed in the Africa and other Asia part, so we have charged very much to that incubator because they are funded by different donors, big donors and all. But in India, I understand that people incubators are heavily dependent on the government funding and very much required for this. So therefore, we are putting a very small fees for them for first 10 incubators because it's heavily dependent on the AWS and all. So there is another fees for that. Okay. So for first 10 incubators in India, four, two, three incubators already doing this, but another 10 slot, we are putting a 2.5 lakh for the vital cost for one-time installation, and after that there is a fees every year. We have some fees for paying to the cloud services like AWS or Amazon, something like that. So that fees you have to pay directly to these companies as well. How about for small number of incubatee, what would be the commercial? Okay, so I think I have already answered. It depends on the number of login ID, number of users and all. So minimum cost is 2.5 lakh for vitals, and playbook cost is zero. Playbook is completely free for all of you. All templates tools are completely free for all incubators.
Yeah, I think we answered Payal's question also in terms of the security.
Yeah. So I hope we have answered every question. And if you have any question respect to the vitals and respect to the playbook and building your capacity, building your people knowledge, creating ecosystem based knowledge of your incubator and all, you please write to me directly and Hira. My email ID already shared with you in chat box, plus my numbers also be there. My WhatsApp number and my mobile number both are available. The same number is basically, so you can reach out to me directly and we can discuss more about this vitals and playbook further. So I thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of you. Uh, Great. First I thank to Hira also because she helped us to run through the vitals as well. Plus I thanks to all participant here. I'm looking forward to do some more webinars on vitals and playbook, which be useful for other incubators as well. And I request to all incubators here, please advertise, market us, market our playbook, which is free of cost. So you can share the link to other incubator as well. So other incubator can also be download or access this playbook and templates for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.